are you today? I am your teacher, Belva and Marranca Guerrero. For today's topic, we will discuss about the basic elements of theater. Now, are you all ready to listen and learn something new today? Okay, let's begin. The first element is the script or text, scenario, and plan. This is the starting point of the theatrical performance, the element most often considered as the domain of the playwright in theater. The playwright's script is the key by which theater is created. It can be simplistic as in the 16th century with the scenarios used by the acting troupes of the Commedia dell'arte, or it can elaborate such as the works of William Shakespeare. The script, scenario, or plan is what the director uses as a blueprint to build a production form. It can be in the form of a play, musical, dance theater, or old-fashioned. To discuss about the works of William Shakespeare, one example is the Commedia dell'arte. It was a style of improvised comic theater popular in Europe in the 16th through 18th centuries. While the performance was improvised every night, the improvisation was based on a series of pre-existing scenarios, and the improvised dialogue and staging were developed and honed literally over the performer's lifetime. Aside from this, I know you are all familiar with the Romeo and Juliet. It is tragedy about two young Italian star-crossed lovers whose deaths ultimately reconciled to fruiting families. It was among Shakespeare's most popular plays during his lifetime. Furthermore, other works of Shakespeare includes Titus Andronicus, Julius Caesar, The Taming of the Shrew, Hamlet, The Too Gentle of Verona, The Comedy of Errors, King John, Much Ado About Nothing, Richard II, Love Labours Won, Cardenio, The Merchant of Venice, Sir Thomas More, King Lear, Edward III, and As He Like It. Moving on to the second element, we have the process. This is the coordination of the creative efforts usually headed up in the theater by the director. It is the pure process by which the playwright's work is brought to realization by the director, actors, designers, technicians, dancers, musicians, and any other collaborators that come together on the script, scenario, or plan. Through process, it brings the script to life. This element can be considered the work in progress stage of a production, and it's the director who typically leads this effort. Moreover, in the process, it is also the creation of the performance, which involves a process informed by method, aesthetic choice, and economic context. In this aspect, it has something to do with the writer, performer, or director. It includes the acting, animals, devising, directing, ensemble, improvisation, masking and body adornment, playwriting, puppetry rehearsal, and even text analysis. Coordinating all of these elements to create a cohesive artistic statement is a mammoth task. Third element is the production. This is the end result of the process of work involved. The final product that results from all of the labors coming together to complete the finished work of script, scenario, and plan. In union with all of the collaborators in the process to create the final product, or what we call the performance. Class, you must keep in mind that in every theatrical performance is comprised of all the artist's work joining together to create an experience that if it's successful, is greater than the sum of its parts. As the performance starts, the director will know if the designers of sets, props, costume, lighting, and audiovisual media and the actors portray all their roles well. This is what the audience will witness as they sit in the theater and view the work. Okay class, now let us proceed to the fourth element, which is the audience. Theater requires an audience. For all of the parts, public is essential. The physical presence of an audience can change a performance, inspire actors, and create expectations. Once the audience is in the seats, their role as consumers comes full circle. Think of it, rather simply for a moment. What happens if an actor stands on stage and says a line intended to be funny, but the audience doesn't laugh? How the audience reacts sends messages to the actors about how their performance is being received. Silence during a humorous section tells that actors that for many possible reasons, the audience doesn't seek or agree with the humor being portrayed. Now class, I have a question. Why do we say that theater is a living, breathing art form? Yes, class, it is because theater is a collaborative art form which combines words, voice, movement, and visual elements to express meaning. Theater work provides a vehicle for students to reflect on important aspects of life, in the process developing their sensitivity and deepening their understandings of others' points of view. Wow! We are down to our last and final element, the playwright. A playwright who is also considered as the initial creator of the script, scenario, or plan. A playwright works in that branch of literature dealing with the writing and producing of plays for the theater. Playwrights also make suggestions for the theatrical set design and develop stage directions for the actors to follow throughout the performance. They must be able to envision and communicate important details like the way characters look and behave so that actors can accurately bring these characters to life for the audience. I have a trivia for you class. If you break the word playwright down into two parts, you already have a great understanding of what playwrights do. First, they write the scripts for plays, which then go on to be staged in theatrical productions. The play is a unique writing form consisting of two principal elements, the dialogue and stage directions. We are done, class. That wraps up our discussion for today. But before we end, I will leave you a quotation from William Defoe saying, "Great theater is about challenging how we think and encouraging us to fantasize about a world we aspire to." To sum up, all of us have the capacity to fantasize, yet there can be a major differences in fantasy lives. Some people are great visualizers. Their daydreams and fantasies are vivid, as if they are on a theater that creates pictures in their minds. Again, this is Teacher Belva. I hope you learned something new today. Thank you for listening and keep safe, everyone.